Guys, my views are dropping. My channel is slowly dying. And at this point, YouTube doesn't look like a sustainable long-term career. So obviously I need an exit strategy. And today all my hope is on data trader. 1.1 million views, 44k likes, 500 comments. This is about the best 5-minute scalping strategy ever. Simple and also proven. So this video is about putting this strategy to the test. This video is not about proving anyone wrong. We are taking a viral strategy and actually testing it with data. Just a clean data-driven perspective with as little bias as possible. Quick side note from a creator's perspective, trading videos often have CPMs between $20 and $50. So a video with views like this can easily make 20 to 50 grand, which explains why these strategies spread so fast. So let me get to the point. I'll quickly summarize the strategy. We're hearing what DataTrader has to say. Then we'll code it exactly as described and see what the data actually says. So let's get started here with the general setup.
Presents 4 hours of price movement. Next, go to the time zone setting on the bottom right corner of the chart and select New York time. Now this step is very important because we want the first 4-hour candle to be based specifically on the New York time. Next, hover to the first 4-hour candle that formed on today's date. In this example, since it's June 23rd, the first 4-hour candle that formed today is this one. Then, simply draw a line at the high and low of that candle and extend both lines to the end of the day. That's your 4-hour range on this chart. Now, an important thing to remember is make sure that the first 4-hour candle has fully closed before marking the range. If the candle is still forming, wait for it to fully close first.
So pretty simple. You take a look at the first 4-hour candle on the New York time frame. That is super important. And this is your levels for the day. So you have a high and a low level, and this is your range for the day. Simple as that. So let's take a look at the scalping setup. This is around minute 2:42.
So after the 4-hour range is identified, we go down to the 5-minute time frame to look for scalp setups. So the setup we're looking for is when the 5-minute candle closes outside of the range, either the range high or range low. But again, the key here is the candle must fully close outside, so wicks alone don't count. After the breakout, we then wait for price to re-enter and close back inside the range again. But make sure that all of this happens within the same day as the 4-hour range we marked. Once that sequence plays out, we move to step 3, which is our entry. In this example, since price broke the range high, that's a signal to go short. For the stop loss, we place it at the exact high of the breakout move, and for the take profit, aim for at least 2 times the stop loss size. And here, price came down and hits the profit target. Now let's look at another example.
Okay, so to summarize it all, the 4-hour range identifies levels for the days. The 4-hour range is determined by New York. Then you enter based on the 5-minute time frame, and you enter as soon as the 5-minute candle closes out of the range. The wicks don't count. After that breakout, you wait for the price to close within the 4-hour range again. Then you enter based on a stop loss on the max high or low, dependent on whether you hit the high or low of the breakout move, and take profit just 2 times that range. So let's take a look at that in coding terms and analyze the strategy. Alright, let's quickly take a look at the results before going through the code. Here is what the backtest produced. I ran this over the last 200 days. We got 357 losses, 167 wins, a win rate of 32%, and an expectancy of minus 0.04 risk units per trade. So what does this mean? R is a normalized unit of risk, and minus R just means the stop loss was hit. Plus 2R means the take profit was hit. So 357 trades lost 1 unit, 167 trades made 2 units. The win rate is about 32% for a 2R strategy. That is not terrible by itself. So the important number here is the expectancy, which is minus 0.044 R per trade. That means the strategy loses about 0.044 units per trade on average. So in its raw form, it is slightly negative, but very close to break even. So without any amendments, you cannot trade this strategy. Quick code walkthrough. Let me quickly execute those cells because they're taking some time as we are pulling quite some data. We are going 200 days back on the 5-minute time frame, so this will take some time. So while this is running, let me tell you what this is actually doing. By the way, the whole notebook is available for channel members, so you can play a bit around with that for yourself. There's certainly a lot more to analyze here. Now, what is this function doing? This is just pulling historical K-line data, so candlestick data from Binance 200 days back on the 5-minute time frame. This is just pulling the columns, so open, high, low, close, and then is converting the Unix formatted index into a human readable index and is converting the rest of the data frame to floating type values so we can do some calculations later on. After some seconds, you will get a data frame like this. So this is a 5-minute granular data frame containing open, high, low, close values. And notice how high the Bitcoin price was back then. So mid of 2025, we got nearly 120K here compared to today, 78K. Sad times. But this is not what the video is about. So you got 57K rows here. So no wonder this is taking some time to pull from the API. Open, high, low, close data. Now, next one is to convert this to New York time. Why? Because Data Trader was saying we need the New York time frame as the base on the first candle. So this is one way to do it. There are probably 100 other ways to achieve that. I'm doing it this way, so I'm just localizing the timestamp or the index of the data frame to a native timestamp as UTC and then convert that to America/New York, which gives us DF 5M and Y, where every candle is correctly aligned to New York days. And this is just a convenience thing. This is just transforming those values to lowercase letters. So you have open lowercase, high lowercase, low lowercase, close lowercase. I could have done that here as well. I didn't do that, so I'm transforming them here. So let me quickly show you how this data frame is looking like. So you have DF 5M, New York, now open, high, low, close, lowercase, and you got a New York based time index here on that data frame. So 5-minute granular New York based. Everything we need for now. And next one is a very important step, which is just building the daily levels from the first 4 hours. So this is just computing the daily range levels as explained in the beginning. First creating the day start, which is just the New York midnight for each candle, and the window end, which is just the day start plus 4 hours. And then I'm just building a Boolean mask here, which keeps candles that fall inside the first 4-hour windows of the New York day and filter with that mask into the first 4 hours here. Nothing more than that. And then I'm grouping by the day and compute the day high, the day low, and that produces levels, which is 1 row per day. So at this point, the levels are attached. So let me show you how this is looking like. You got 2 extra columns here, the day high and the day low, which obviously changes every single day. So this is 1 day, so you still have the same values for the day, for the low and the high. And this is just within the first 4 hours, the high and low of the price. So super convenient. And we got that all in one data frame. Then obviously you just define where you want to have the outside up, the outside down, your long entry and your short entry. This is explained in the very beginning. So we define the breakout as a breakout candle must be fully outside the range. So a breakout up is the candle low is above the day high, and a breakout down is the candle high is below the day low. And that's important because it enforces fully outside and not just a wick. And then you just define the entry. Important here is the shift because we look at the next candle and we require a close back inside. So a long entry, the previous candle was breakout down. So I'm calling that outside down, but this is just the breakout down. And current close is back above the day low. Similar logic for the short entry. The breakout up, previous candle was breakout up, and the current close is back below the day high. That's where the, wait for it to close back inside the range happens. That is just the logic behind that. Next, we are just defining trade parameters. This looks like a lot, but this is actually super straightforward. Entry is just the close of the entry candle. The stop is based on the breakout candle extremes. And the breakout candle is the previous bar, so we are using shift 1 here, as you see. Now, for long entries, the stop is the breakout candle low. For short entries, it's the breakout candle high. Then risk is simply the entry minus the stop. And TP is simply the entry plus 2 times the risk, as defined in the beginning. So at this point, every entry candle has entry, stop, TP fully defined. So let's execute that. And then, last but not least, this is just the backtesting loop, going over the data frame row by row and is scanning forward candle by candle. Now, take a look at that for yourself. Then, in the end, you're just appending to a results array, and then you wrap that all into a data frame, and you will see the results we just went through with those outcomes here, which we talked about some seconds ago. So yeah, play around with that, maybe do some filters and let me know your insights. But as said, taking the strategy as it was presented, at least for the last 200 days, this doesn't look like a good idea, and we didn't even take trading fees into account. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye bye.